Shalom, Israel. This is Priest and Officer Kuraya Allah out of ISUPK, Connecticut. And with today's topic, we're gonna talk about is there double standards between within our relationships. Now, given the fact that a lot of us was raised up within following somebody else's culture, somebody else's our oppressor's culture, our oppressor's lifestyle. What a lot of our people don't realize is this society's lifestyle, culture, and ways have turned our whores, have turned our daughters and sons into whores, and have turned them into living an alternative lifestyle. Understand that the Bible is our culture. The Bible is our have our records, our history, our way of living. And one thing we have to keep in mind is there's laws, statutes, and commandments that have to be upheld according to the Most High, our power. You know, understand that He's the creator of all things. Now, about a week ago, a couple weeks ago, there was an incident involving that was this child star Kiki Palmer, and the whole social media, the whole world got on her husband, which is her husband, which according to Kiki Palmer is not her husband because she don't have a ring on it. See, there's a lot of things wrong that went on with that situation. And given the fact that a lot of people condone that behavior with Kiki Palmer, that's something that any man in their right mind to have any love, any respect, any kind of decency would not allow a woman to be doing. So that's why these scriptures is heavy. Now, I'm gonna go into a couple scriptures about the whole situation because it seems to me like when there was a situation, I want to say months prior to that, almost a year ago. I want to say maybe a year ago, so forth. Y'all can correct me on that. But there was another entertainer, a male entertainer, and if memory served me right, it was Chance the Rapper. He was ridiculed for disrespecting his wife in public because he was caught on camera on video dancing with some females. I mean, you tell me, why is it okay for women to do what they want and then it gets glazed over, but then when it comes to men, it's like, oh, how dare you? You shamed her, you embarrassed her, you this, you that, we get thrown under the we get thrown under the bus. Don't work like that. Understand that You have to uphold a certain image when you step outside. You got to have a certain. You have to have integrity when you out there. You have to know that you're in an industry that have no moral compasses. Any and everything goes. Hold on, hold on a second. I'm sorry, Salaki. Give me 1 second. Shalom, no grace. No, no, lie. What's up? Okay, no sweat. Okay. All right. Shalom. No grace. Yeah, okay. Yes, Salaki. Yeah, so understand that to have a structured household, you have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments according to the Lord, because anything else other than that will allow you to behave or to act to to do things that's against the Bible, to against these scriptures. Now, okay, I'm gonna go into well, for one, okay, understand this that no man whatsoever. But before I even do that, I'm gonna go into sex is marriage, right? Scripture, because recently, in light of this situation that's still going on with Kiki Palmer, she made a comment that she's not married until she gets a ring on her finger. But what what I don't understand is, so she loses the ring, her marriage is lost. She has a lost marriage if her ring is gone. A ring don't consummate marriage. Sex do. We're gonna go into Deuteronomy 22 and 28. And it goes, if a man finds a damsel that's a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he had humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. To combat, if anybody that call themselves believing in God, going to church, believing in the Bible, that's in the Bible right there. That's not something that we made up. So to combat that statement that she just recently made, that defeats it all. Sex is marriage, and you cannot dance away from that. You cannot move away from that. You cannot move away from the fact that when she laid down and she had a baby with him, on top of that, that's proof right there that they had sex. That's her husband, and she dishonored her husband, and he called her out on it. But yet, social media, people say he was wrong for doing that, calling her out. Now nobody's in the household with them, and you basically, I mean, I can only imagine what was going on. Who knows? But who's to say he haven't been telling her, stop dressing like that, do not go to these functions like that? Who knows? So enough was enough. He put her on blast. Yet they ridiculed him for it. But now when you turn around and have a situation like Chance the Rapper or any other entertainer or high profile person, a popular person, excuse me, uh, that's a male, that's in a relationship, turn around and do something like that, he gets demonized. Now, the question I ask y'all, like, if you can see the title, brothers and sisters out there in social media world, is there a double standard when it comes to men and women? You can leave your comments. You can leave your comments up in here. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna drop that, and I'm gonna go into another scripture, uh, because when you look at how this world is structured, it leaves no room for any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man to have any wins in it because it's not for us. These are things when you have a society that condones that type of behavior, where you as a man is trying to correct your woman because you got love for her. She has your child, yet she wants to go out there and show all her cheeks to the world. This is what we up against. We're up against uh, a society that is not for us, a society that is every day tooth and nail working overtime to emasculate us as men. Now, I'm gonna go into a couple scriptures. I'm gonna go into 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. Hold on. Because understand, you have to be on one accord. When you're married, you're joined together. You have to be together, think alike. You have to be one flesh and on one accord. So when you have a mentality of I do what I want, but you're in a relationship, but you're married, you're doomed for a failed relationship. You're doomed to be sitting up in child support. You're going to be up in child support or criminal court because it's going to get into some. And again, I don't condone. We don't condone as ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. We don't condone any violence amongst each other, unless it's brought to us. Then that's different. You know, if we're defending ourselves, that's what we do. But we don't bring it. If it's a situation, You try to avoid it the best way you can, unless you're threatened physically with physical harm. Okay, so I want to put that out there. Oh, excuse me. So we're gonna go into 2 Corinthians 6:14. It says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?" Understand that you cannot be unequally yoked, because if her husband is saying one thing, don't dress this way, and the wife, and I'm not just using her situation, I'm just saying in general, because this is a common thing, right? When it's when you're sitting there and you're saying it's okay for a woman to do this and a man can't do this, the same thing, same scenario, but you just flip it, then it becomes tricky. Then it becomes a nation of confusion amongst our people, amongst our men and women. We have to be on the same accord. We cannot sit there and stay one sided. One sided meaning, okay, you commit the same crime, but because of, in this case, because of your gender, which is a female, you can get away with it. It's all right. It's okay. You can do that. But if a man do it, now what happens? He gets thrown under the bus. You're wrong. You're wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. You are wrong. You're a man. You should know better. Isn't it the same crime? It's damn near like what goes on with our people now. A sidebar for a second. When you look at how the judicial system works against our people, when you see how people get slaughtered on social media, videotapes, and all evidence leading to our oppressor murdering one of our people, it's basically the same thing. We can't allow that to happen. That's why we have to come back to the Lord. Because if not, then at the end of the day, we all we got. The Most High is the only thing that is going to deliver us out of this hell hole that we live in, that we call America, this society that we live in. That's the only thing that's going to get us out of this. But for the meantime, we have to come back to the Lord. Okay, let me drop that. And trust me, there's certain things that women can do that men can't do. There's certain things that men can do that women can't do, vice versa. But when it comes to integrity and morals, it's lopsided, because what this society does is it allows our women to be whores. It allows them to be free and do what they want and don't listen to your man. And your man, you don't need your man. And your man ain't nothing, and so forth. But all the whole spiel that goes on when it comes to disrespecting the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men. But understand that the man, there's an order that's in place when it comes to our people, the Lord's chosen people. You have the Most High, that's the head of our King, Yahushua. Yahushua, that's the head of man. Man, that's the head of woman and children, right? It's an order. It's an order that's there that we're not taught. You want to know why we're not taught? Because the Christian church ain't teaching it. The Christian church is not teaching our people how to get in order. They're not teaching our women. They're taking advantage of our women and children. And that's the bottom line. I'm going to, uh, and because of that, right? Understand this: as men, we got to do better. As men, we definitely got to do better, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because a woman is only going to do what you allow them to do. If we don't start checking and correcting our women, then if we entertain whoredom, they're gonna stay whores. The Most High tells you do not make whores of the daughters of Zion. You know, take for granted the situation, that situation, uh, the Kiki Palmer situation. Now she was up on stage with Usher, and she's doing all that erotic stuff. Now I don't know whether he knows. I'm sure he knows. They in the industry. I'm sure they know each other. But I'm sorry, but even in the world before I came in there, if I knew that, whether I knew the cat or not, if I knew a female was in a relationship, I'm not going to be up on her like that. I'm not doing that. Usher should have known better. I'm sure he knew. Of course, well, she had a baby, Salakia. She had a baby with this cat. It was all on. Everybody and their mother know that. So the thing I say is, I understand you performing, but it's a certain level of respect. If Usher had respect for that brother, he he would have did. He wouldn't have been up on like, uh, Kiki Palmer like that. If he had respect for him, excuse me. That's why. Okay, I'm gonna go into Ecclesiasticus 9 and 7 because when you see that a woman is married, you're not supposed to entertain. You're not supposed to entertain anything with her because it's going to lead into sins. It's a sin already. You entertain it, especially without the husband's permission. You know. So let me go into Ecclesiasticus 9 and 7. It says, "Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solidarity place thereof. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. So here, bringing it home. Sit not sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. So, in a nutshell, do not sit down, do not entertain, do not be around a married woman. Why is that? Because it's going to cause destruction upon you. It's going to cause you to sin. It's going to cause you to commit adultery. It's going to cause lust, desire. That's why all that work, what they call that, work husband, work wives, and all that. That's a no go. That's a no go. We don't do these things here. We don't do these things there. And understand, it's a certain level of integrity that is needed. That is needed because although now here's the flip side of things. You can't. I get you. At the end of the day, and I pulled that scripture out because us, if you know somebody's involved, married, I don't care if you're entertained or not. You know, you don't do. It's just certain things you just don't do. If you have any brotherhood, any love for your brothers, you're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be dancing. We're at a party, and I see brother's rib there, and just start dancing and grinding up on her, and whispering in her ear and all that other stuff. You ain't doing all that. That's too damn intimate. So understand that behavior that was displayed by Kiki Palmer, she should be ashamed of herself. She not only embarrassed her husband and shamed him, she embarrassed her whole household, her kids. Her kids are gonna get older, and guess what? They're gonna get teased years to come. These are things you got to think of. A responsible, virtuous, shamefaced woman would not have done that. A responsible woman would have probably not even go to the party. Now, I'm not saying she couldn't go to the party. I'm sure that, well, who knows? The way she thinking, she probably was told not to go, but still went anyway. Who knows? That's an assumption. Who knows? But if you're gonna go outside, have some integrity, have some morals, have some respect, not only for yourself, but for your household, for your husband, for your children. Have something. Because understand, black men, black women, we got to do better as a people. We got to start teaching each other and correcting each other. Correction can be harsh, but you know what correction is too? Correction is love. I'm priest and officer Kuraya Allah out of ISUPK, Connecticut. That's my time. Shalom.